What's up guys, it's Pliskin here, and join me today with my lovely assistant, our favorite heavy smoker, Flaming Buffalo. Today we are going to be looking at the fake guns of Metal Gear Solid 5 and seeing if these pseudo guns actually work in a way that's feasibly possible. If someone were to say, sit down and try to create one of these guns in real life, could they work? And if so, how? First up, we have the MRS-4 rifle. And right off the bat, I can see a lot of things that already exist in a lot of working firearms. We have a paddle magazine release, although the magazine doesn't get cranked out, which is common in a lot of firearms. The G36 is the first one that comes to mind that works this way. You have an AR-15 style fire select with a safe, semi, and full automatic fire. You have a reciprocating left-sided charging handle. If we look towards the front of the gun, we see a gas piston system sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is a short stroke gas piston system, as I see a lot of elements on this rifle that could be taken from an AR-18. Now, there are a lot of guns throughout history that have taken from the AR-18 and the short stroke piston gas system. Running on a piston system means that you could suppress this a lot more feasibly than you would an M4, and it also allows for that folding stock we see on the back of the rifle. Were this to use a direct impingement system like an AR-15, it would be impossible to have that folding stock, as the gas system and everything, the components, just kind of stick out of the back of the gun. So there's a lot going for this rifle in regards to its functionality. The only weird thing I see here is what I imagine to be a bolt release on this side of the gun. However, the player character never uses it. Now this might be because Flaming Buffalo is trained by Snake, and Snake has this really annoying habit, at least after Snake Eater, of never using bolt releases and instead always tugging on the charging handle even if there's a round in the chamber.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Next up, we're going to have the game's AK stand-in, the SVG rifle. Now this is pretty much straight up an AK. You have the right-sided reciprocating charging handle, you have that paddle magazine release, and you have to crank out the magazine and crank it back in there like you would a real AK. The long stroke gas piston system is evident again towards the end of the barrel. The only thing I see that's quite different is that there's no AK style safety select system, which you would normally see on the right side of the gun, close to the charging handle. But besides that, if someone were to make this, it could be feasible. Not having a working safety might be troublesome and probably keep it from being adopted by militaries, but in terms of the raw functionality to this gun, I think it would be pretty practical. Next up, let's go to one of the weirder guns in the game, the Bullhorn shotgun. Now, this is a bullpup, tube-fed, pump-action shotgun. Now, this has been done before with the Kel-Tec KS7. However, there are a lot of issues with this system here. The bullpup design means pumping the actual action is going to be a little frustrating, as all of the working components are in the back of the gun and there's a greater length of pull there between you actuating the system and the system functioning. There's also this really weird, unnecessary, top thing hooked over the barrel. I'm guessing it's a way to mount sight systems, but it serves no purpose to the functioning of the weapon, and some other top cover would have been more practical, much easier to put on there, and would probably take off a lot of weight. Like having this random hunk of metal just put on top of the barrel like this is kind of stupid. In regards to actually functioning as a bullpup, you do load it in from the back. You see the magazine tube right below the barrel, so in regards to this being a functional weapon, I mean, it's already possible, it's already been done with the KS7, but the weird bulky designs and large frame of the gun is just really unnecessary. In function, this kind of looks like a really shitty version of a KS7. Okay, let's talk about some pistols. Everybody that's been on this channel for a long time knows that I really like my pistols. And let's start off with the starter pistol, the AMD 114, I believe it's called. And right off the bat, I can tell you this will not function like a 1911. This has a double action trigger, which means the hammer is going to work differently from the 1911. There's going to be two things you can do with this trigger. You can A, pull the hammer back and have a lighter trigger pull, or B, just start pulling the trigger and the hammer will go through the entire process of moving back, striking the round. But just because it's not functioning like a 1911 with that, smooth trigger mechanism, doesn't mean it's bad. There's a lot of guns that use this double action system. This is just a generic kind of single stack double action pistol. There's been plenty of these throughout history. There's nothing I see here that's out of the ordinary. The safety isn't mounted on the slide, which is what you tend to see with a lot of these kind of pistols, but it is there. You see the slide stop, so this pistol can lock back when it's empty and easily be shifted right back into battery when you're good to go by just hitting that with your thumb. There's no horrendous grip safety like you would have on the 1911, so in that regard I like it a lot better. And yeah, you can see the magazine release down over here in a very conventional spot. There's nothing about this that tells me it couldn't be made to be a realistic pistol, so in regards to function, yeah, this one definitely passes. But enough about double actions, let's talk about the Geist. Now the Geist is the Glock stand-in, and looking at it here, okay, we can take a look at the trigger and we can see that it has the Glock safety mechanism in which it's built into the trigger, where you have to pull the trigger up to the point to disengage the safety and then pull even more to fire. You can tell it's striker fired because everything's closed up at the back. There's no hammer there. You're just gonna have that pin on the inside of the gun. I see the slide stop there, so that's all good. Wait a minute. Can't really see a magazine release from here. Okay, I'm not willing to give up on this gun. Let's go find somebody to swap pistols with in the world and take a closer look at this. There we go. He's perfect. Ah yes, the true apex AI of this game. Well, if there's one thing for certain, it's that this pistol definitely works as a real-life pistol would. Just being able to mag dump into those two guys like that, fucking brilliant. Don't judge me for killing these things. If you've been around long enough, you know exactly why I hate these fuckers. They've ruined many smooth video runs. Okay, so now that our buddy boy here has given us his AMD, we can swap our pistol out with that and take a good look at the Geist on the ground to see if it does have a magazine release. And getting a closer look at this pistol right now, yes it does. There we go. See, I knew I shouldn't have given up on this pistol. The Geist would be a functional striker fired, albeit a little unorthodox with its slide design, but still, this would be a working handgun. So that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to go over a random set of a couple weapons. If there's certain weapons you want me to talk about in future videos, leave them down in the comments below and I'll get to them. Let's just give Buddy Boy a proper send-off here. Buffalo, your hair, is it alright? And yeah, another smooth video done with no interruptions from these fucking donkeys.
This is Solid Snake. Hey, subscribe to Pliskin Boy. God damn it.
You heard him.